I've also known Clive for a while, more than a decade, and knowing him, he's very emotional. So when I first read the book, I felt a lot of him in it, and I also identified with it a lot because we're both Chinese, and there's this one thing about this book is very subtle. It's not a book where there's a lot of like things happening, you know. It's about the inside of the inner feelings of us. I don't know how to say that. Yeah, I'm not very good with words. I'm more the picture person. Okay, so the part I'm going to read is Professor K's portion of the book, where he has to make an impromptu trip to Greece, and he loves Greece. He's always wanted to visit it, so he's finally here. And here's the part that one of my favorite parts. She pointed towards a narrow spiraling staircase. It creaked as he went up. The dim wall flashed past his eyes in those sharp turns, forming snatches of the subterranean. The key fit, the key turned. A room came into view, an attic with a slanted ceiling. Moving to the other end of the room, Kay opened up the balcony, and the spectacular face of a massive cliff burst into view. It seemed to waver in the diffused glow of the afternoon sun. The birds were chirping loudly. He wanted to lie down. His head fell like a cannonball. The room grew brighter. A cloud must have shifted in the sky. He looked at the slanted ceiling. From that point of view, it appeared flat. Everything was quiet. In his mind, he tried to conjure the mere sound of Jay's name, but he could not. Right then, nothing mattered. Even they, the floorboards, the bed, the smell of leather, had lost their power to ridicule. He could freely admit that his work was trivial. Even Sarah, no, not her. That's part of it. So there was still something he could not admit. Even in the final moment of unwinding, his head grew heavier. The birds were still chirping, but he heard it quite distinctly. The question, uttered by a voice he did not recognize, speaking the same thing that was Jay. 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 I shall leave, he was able to tell himself. He thought of Jay. The thought of Jay compelled him to leave. Yet why? Why should he tear himself from his bed, from this bed, and return so far to England? He needed a reason. If he had to return to that wretched house, he needed a reason. He needed reason to believe that he would not be stuck with this feeling his whole life. He pulled himself up. He looked at his watch. It was almost time to return to the tour bus. His head was suddenly cleared from all that previous heaviness. He became rational. He had to leave anyway. So that's the part I like. One of my favorites.